Let us talk about Tkinter text boxes. The Tkinter text boxes allow you to use something like an entry, just that it's multiple lines. So you could take this editor that I'm using, Visual Studio Code, this section of it, you could take it as a text field. So let's duplicate this app, copy and paste. Now let's replace all the entries. Let's replace entry with text, and all of these functions go with it as well. Let's remove the width one. Let's change this to text from text box, something like that. And instead of doing that, we'll print the text. Let's print it out. Print field dot get. Let's type inside this. Just click on this, show text. And we didn't get anything at all. That's because we didn't call it as a function. Let's actually make this a little small as well. Find it personally too big. So remove this styling. Don't want this. FG yellow, BG green, that's fine. And I want the pad X to be 100. No, actually 50 looks good. And I want the pad Y to be 50 as well. Let's try and run this. Hopefully it won't be too big. Yeah, not too big. And now let's try and print this out. We've got the padding here, so you can see 50. Let's try and say show text, and we got an error. It says it required positional arguments, and those arguments, let me just type them down first. 1.0 and minus 1c. Now what is 1.0? Well, it's the index it should start from, and yes, it's a string again, and it's not 1, it's 1.0. I think Tkinter converts it to a float. That's why it requires you to enter a string. And end minus 1c. It goes to the end minus 1c minus that line, because the last line is automatically typed out, and whether you entered it or not, it's a \n, so it's removing that line. Let's try and type this out. Hello, and I can type in multiple lines. Just click on show text. This here, show text. Hello, DD and C. There we have it. We'll also try and write some code. Let's copy this. Let's paste it in here. You can copy paste, yes. Show text, and all the code got pasted over here. So that's the text widget. And if you want to write emails with Python, which I have done, you can use this, since you need multiple lines for sure. If you want to write stories, you'd need this. If you're trying to make a text editor, you'd need this. The list goes on and on. You'll need this in several places. So I'd consider this as an important Tkinter widget. There are several functions that are similar for both the entry and the text widget, since both of them are text input fields, and even the parameters are more or less the same. In the next video, there's something interesting, something that you've not seen before at all. So stay tuned.